Hello boys and girls, welcome to BenchART. I'm for Classic, and for today what I do have needed is FIFA 22, a game developed by EA Canada, and it is using Frostbite free. So FIFA 22, unfortunately on the PC it's not the next generation version, and so because of that same reason this is a very lightweight game. So, like always, I always test the game with multiple different settings, and as you can see, both low and medium settings provide an experience well above 60 frames per second, with cutscenes locked to 30 frames per second. Although if you go with the high settings, despite the gameplay it is above 60, cutscenes start to drop below 30 frames per second. So, moving on to 900p, the median settings provides an experience above 60, but also cutscenes they do drop below 30 frames per second, depending on where the camera is pointing to. The eye setting starts to drop below 60 frames per second on its gameplay, so it's hard to recommend. When it comes to 1080p, both median settings and high settings starts to drop below 60 frames per second. In fact, high settings doesn't even go above 60, so it's hard to recommend, and both cutscenes runs below 30 frames per second. So wrapping all the averages and the minimums, you can see that only the 720p median and low provides stable cutscenes because the minimums are 29 to 30, and all the rest of the settings do drop below 30 frames per second during the cutscenes. So looking to the requirements for this game requires a GTX 660 with 2GB of VRAM, 8GB of RAM, and an E3 from the 6000 generation in order if you want to play. I think the minimum requirements are a little bit exaggerated. I don't think you really require to have this amount of power, especially regarding the graphic cards. But that's it. So for this video I decided to go with 900p median settings. These settings provides an experience above 60 frames per second. At cutscenes they do drop below 30 frames per second sometimes, but since cutscenes are not playable moments, I couldn't care less about it. The difference in graphics between low, medium and high, they are pretty straightforward. So for example, the low settings you don't have the grass. During the lower camera pans you notice that it's just a solid texture on the floor. Median settings adds the grass, and the eye settings adds motion blur and also animations like on the air, physics on the air I mean, of some players. So I think that median settings it is pretty good, since most of these differences are only noticeable during the cutscenes. Gameplay wise, I wasn't really able to tell too much of a difference, despite obviously there is a difference in performance between all of these settings, even on the gameplay. Now let's talk a little bit about the game. Well, regarding the game, unfortunately the PC this year it isn't really very well served when it comes to football games or soccer games, depending where you live. So FIFA, unfortunately, it is still using the old gen version. This is the same version that it is running on the PS4 and also the Xbox One consoles. And next generation FIFA, which is the one with hypermotion that they marketed all along the launch of this FIFA 22, it is only available for PS5, Xbox Series, and curiously enough, Stadia, which is kind of a good news because I will explain it further. So why EA is giving us the old version of FIFAs instead of giving us the next generation FIFA version? So it have been kind of an excuse for EA, because every time there is a new console, EA always do this, which is the first years of the release of the new consoles, the PC version, it is always the old version instead of the newest one. Their excuse it's because they say that the majority of the people don't have PCs that match the PS5 and Xbox Series. And in fact they are true, it is true, but that's why there is graphical settings inside the games for you to tweak around. So I'm not really sure why they are doing this. I don't think that this is a good idea, but they have been doing this all along. It was the same when the PS3 was released, it was the same when the PS4 was released, and now it is again the same when PS5 and Xbox Series was released. We are having a worse product because it is the same product as the PS4, and so it also means that we don't get stuff like the hypermotion and all the benefits that the newest FIFA have. So the difference between FIFA 22 and 21 are mostly just, some cosmetic changes, some new faces, I guess, and even that I don't really know. New menus, new tracks, but the majority of the game should be pretty much the same. All right, so that's disappointing. Although I did told you about that the next generation version, it is also available on Stadia. Oh yeah, Stadia, that product that was supposed to be ended dead already from Google. It is actually receiving new games, not newer but ports from old games, strong support from Ubisoft, and this time around the next generation version of FIFA 22. So in case you want to play the next generation FIFA on the PC, it is still possible, although you need to play it through Stadia, which means that it is more expensive, so it should cost you the same price as a game on the console. It should be around $69.99. But the good thing is that if you have kind of a bad PC, for example, if you have a PC with an Intel GPU, or if you have an RTX 3090, it will perform the same for all the people. Because Stadia, you will be playing through streaming, which means that it is the servers from Google that are processing the game, and you are just a client. Of course, that brings bad things about it, like there is an increased input lag. Some people do notice, some people don't. And obviously, you can notice a compression of the video streaming when you are playing. I've been playing a little bit with Stadia, not FIFA though, but other games. And my experience with Stadia have been great. And especially if you are a low-end gamer, just like you that you are watching this video, if you have an MX130 or a GT 940 MX, Stadia, it is a nice product for games that you can't barely play in your system. Stadia actually runs the games pretty fine. I still think that GeForce Now does a better job, but specifically for FIFA 22, Stadia, it is the only version of the streaming services where you can play the next generation version of FIFA 22. So in case you are willing to try and you want to have this next generation version of FIFA, you can use Stadia for that, or you just need to buy the PS5 or an Xbox Series console, or just don't buy FIFA. That's it. And that said, that this is a bad year for PC because, as you know already, Pro Evolution Soccer, the newest one, which is the eFootball 2022, have been an awful game, very bad received. The only good thing about it is because it's free to play, you don't need to pay anything for it. But all the rest of the game, it is very different and bad. So it have been very bad received. So it's a dark year for soccer or football games on the PC, since we are stuck with this old version and the football is just simply bad, or at least most of the users don't really enjoy the game. So guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about FIFA 22. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Must take the lead here. Oh, he's been denied, and they remain locked together.
Well, that's a good save, but really he should have scored from there. That's a big chance.
Incisive pass from Mbappe. And a goalkeeper in great form.
And he's just pulled off an absolutely stunning save there. That is brilliant.
He's driven in the corner. And clearing it away. Mbappe. Verratti. Now Neymar. And I think he'll be kicking himself. Ruled offside.
Well, his instinct should have told him he was offside there. He has to be more alert in the box.
Tackling and winning the ball to boot. Might really be able to trouble them here. Wijnaldum, he's in here. Really important piece of last-ditch defending. High pressing at its best. So 2 minutes of stoppage time here. Absolutely spot on, and they keep the ball. Well, he has the measure of his man. Mbappe! A goal! That's 2 for him today. They simply can't stop him. No wonder he's celebrating.
Well, here it is again. He goes past his marker so easily with just a drop of the shoulder. And then through on goal, he just goes for power and smashes it past the keeper. There's no stopping that. What a great finish.
And there it is, the half-time whistle. "45 minutes separating these two sides from glory. The second half of the Champions League final begins. And dispossessed. Now PSG moving the ball forward. What can they do from here? Wijnaldum! And a goal! I'll tell you what, they're going to be very hard to catch now. Name on the trophy, maybe.
Well, here's the replay. He's got such quick feet, hasn't he? Just look how he goes past his marker to get his shot away. That's a really good goal.
No shortage of goals in this match. 3-1. And he might be through here. Surely. Another goal! And surely there's no way they can throw this away. Absolutely dominant.
Well, here it is again, and they've taken their goal well, but the defending was non-existent. That should never happen.
So on with the game. Much to admire about PSG, who look as though they're really in the mood. Lovely work to get past his man. And return to Mbappe. Oh, keeper dealt with it. And they will make the change now. The delivery from Neymar. Body on the line. And the challenge halts them in their tracks. Lukaku. Mount. Romelu Lukaku now. Just straying offside. Messi. And we're inside the final 30 minutes. Jorginho Wijnaldum. No, not the best challenge. Gay. Just couldn't capitalise there. Racing forward, trying to catch them out. Looked as though they might make real progress on the counter-attack. Not so.
Well, PSG have controlled most of the possession, as you can see. They've passed it well, their movement's been good, and they've been well worth their lead. Could get even better here.
Not to be advised giving the ball away in that position. Chilwell. Conte. Oh, in with a chance. I'm afraid it goes down as a wasted opportunity.
Well, no excuses. He should have scored there, and the goalkeeper got really lucky. He can't believe it.
Oh, fine stop. And the keeper making sure that there were no scraps to feed on for the attackers. Hakimi. And now Gay. Verratti. Mbappe. Wijnaldum. Really vital interception here. And the conditions look pretty good for the counter-attack. Can they keep it going? And Pulisic has it. And Conte might take it on. Not to be this time. That's what you call defending from the front. Possibilities here. In it goes! He's made it a brace for himself. No stopping him, apparently.
Well, as you can see, it was a fairly simple finish in the end, but you still have to be in the right place, keep your composure and finish it off, and that's exactly what he did.
So the current scoreline, 4-2. Really getting stuck in. Mateo Kovacic. And he did well to cut it out. It is to be a throw-in. Thiago Silva. Mateo Kovacic. Inside the final 5 minutes now. Wonderfully weighted pass. Pulisic. Well, the danger is still there. Lukaku. Could pull one back here. And what a magical save it was! The referee has decided that 2 additional minutes are in order. Well, nothing comes of it. A significant block by Ramos. And a fine cross. Kovacic. Using his body to good effect. Body in the way again. And Pulisic has it. Full time. Parisian pride.